It's your brother Nomad. Just wanted to tap in to this conversation about vertical foregrips. I must say, as somebody who recently had removed his vertical foregrip off his main platform, I just removed it because I felt like it was just adding bulk and limiting my hand movement was the main reason. I think I actually have one of these up here. So I tried this out for a little bit, which is from True North Concepts. It's kind of just like their angled hand stop cage 9PFL9. I don't know what that means. Maybe that's the model number. I believe this is the view hand stop, and this is just what I've liked the most. Why I like having just something is because if my rifle is slung, I use this as a leverage point to bring it up, as well as what I do like about having some type of vertical grip is instead of having to have my wrist and arm bent like this, which actually puts some strain on my wrist, I like having my hand a little more, just a tad bit, instead of all the way. It just allows me to bend that wrist just a little bit less, having my wrist cocked a little less. When I'm shooting a handgun, I don't think that it's that much, like my hand is naturally here, but it's not here, right? Holding something flat. My hand's not sitting on top of a pistol like this. It's kind of more angled. So that little bit of tension is not there when shooting a pistol like it is holding a handguard with a rifle. So I do like the option of being able to bend that wrist a little less. One thing I did do though was free up this rail space totally for barricades and things like that, table, car hood, shooting out of a window, whatever it is. And instead of having my grip anywhere towards the front, I've moved it as far the way back as possible. So the very first M-lock slot. And what I like about that is if I go here to the way back, I have something that'll stop my hand from moving forward. And if I want, I can grab here. This little nub doesn't make my hand have any limitation to where it can be. Now, with the conversation they've had going on, is running it really slick allows you to get onto barricades and stuff easier. I do feel like with four M-lock slots here that I have enough to put my gun down on anything I want and shoot against it, and then also something to maybe brace against. But I have moved away from vertical foregrips on my shorter weapons. So on my 13.9, I do still have the True North Concepts vertical foregrip, angled foregrip. By the way, this is an SBR, so that's why it has a stock on it. Also, this little cheek riser is by a Regular Defense, which I really like. It just allows me to put the gun exactly where I want. I know the other conversation to go along with these vertical foregrips is risers, right? And I had a video recently on Instagram that did pretty good, got quite a bit of views, and there were some people saying, oh, you're running the Hydra mount. Well, this is not a Hydra mount. This is just a Unity riser, 2.26-inch riser with what is called the HRF skiff. If you can see that, it says it right there, HRF skiff, with just a Trinity SMS laser, not the most expensive laser. I do have night vision, but it is a digital night vision. For me, in the use case that I've tested it in, it's worked fairly well. Obviously, I want to work up to getting analog night vision, but it works well. I can take shots under night vision with this laser. So I do have that there. And I also like not having it on my rail. So running a button, I don't even think you could run a button like this and have it mounted to a rail. So unless I put it on the very end of the gun, which adds weight, I prefer the weight being back. So I also made another video about this rifle, and I had someone in the comments say, what a way to build a super heavy rifle. And honestly, this thing feels insanely light to me. For about a year, I was running a 13.9 LPVO with a top-mounted red dot with a flashlight on it, suppressed, and I was running a 30 cal suppressor. So I got used to having that weight, and when I moved to the 12.5 with this setup, this thing feels like the most manipulatable weapon system that I have. Besides my super slick 11.5, which is more of like a truck gun. One other thing for you guys, so for me personally, when I'm not running the suppressor, I love these linear compensators. So this is by Griffin Armament, because I do run a Recce 5K, which is a partial flow-through can, and it is a taper mount. So to protect my threading, it keeps the threading on my muzzle device protected, as well as blasting. As you can see here, there's some Ranger wrap on this flashlight because this is a black Surefire, and I wanted it to go with the rest of the gun, which there's no black accessories on this thing. So I wrapped it in multicam to match the grip and the stock. But without the vertical or linear compensator, I get a massive amount of blast and debris that gets on my flashlight. I run really a cap more for that case use, is just keeping my glass clean more than I'm worried about any type of ND. But I really like this because it basically adds no weight. It goes right on to the end of your muzzle device, and you just screw it on there. And now I'm not blasting my flashlight, and I'm also at the same time protecting my threads. So that's something that I really like. I actually did this with my Silencer Co. suppressor as well. I bought their ASR linear compensator that went over the muzzle devices for that too. But because now I have a designated 5.56 can, all my 5.56 guns are going to be converted. They are pretty much all converted except for one, I think, to take my Recce 5K. Absolutely love the Griffin Armament Recce 5K, as well as you may recognize the Griffin Armament Mark II lower, which is on the Geisley Super Duty upper. This is built with all the Geisley parts though. Geisley trigger, Geisley mag release, Geisley pins. We have the Geisley Super 42 H3 with the Geisley buffer tube. This is a Geisley castle nut, but because I wanted an option to have QD up at the mag pole back plate on there. So just some thoughts about vertical foregrips. I do think if you run a vertical foregrip, honestly, it is best to run it as far back as possible, because then it does give you the opportunity to out here, hold your gun here, and eventually maybe I will get rid of this. I like that it's adding zero amounts of weight, having this little nub. Obviously, I'm not going to hold it like a vertical foregrip. But if I ever notice it does get in the way, it's just a quick on and off. Also, what I liked about having it far back, because of my limitation with this cable right here, is when I'm in front of it, I can hit this button, and then to even get to my white light, where now my hand sits in front of this button or near my laser button, and the laser is off, so I'm not going to ND that. But to even hit my white light, I have to slide my hand up and hit that button. So do I need an anti-reflection device? Probably not. It's on there now, so it's probably just going to sit there. I have noticed without the linear compensator though, because it is just a shock cord that holds it on, these have been blasted off quite a few times anyway. And I'm like, okay, I think they're like $40. This one I spray painted myself, but to pay that kind of money for a little piece of plastic and then it get blown off by your muzzle device sucks. Fortunate enough, we've walked the path where I've shot and found them a couple times, every time actually, luckily. But I don't know if you really need it if you set your pressure pads or run no pressure pad, or you can just use a cheaper one, something like that. Use a bottle cap and put some holes in it. There's a lot of things you can do. But something that I do really like are these Unity buttons. I like how small this little button is for my laser. I like how this is angled, and I have to be very deliberate about hitting my white light. So it's very fast when I need it, but also I don't think I'm going to hit it by mistake. So This is my main setup, the 12.5. You've probably been seeing some videos out there recently about the 12.5. OG and Range Day Bros did a video, and I know Range Day Bros, his main setup, I believe, is a 12.5. Also, my brother Rebel Spirit Operations, shout out to his channel. He's had quite a few videos on his 12.5 setup. I think the 12.5, obviously, whatever you got, dude, run it. Don't go crazy trying to get yourself a 12.5. But what I found with the 12.5 is it's small, slightly more velocity than the 11.5, a little bit more rail space, a little better balance for guys who are a little bigger, 6'1", 225. So carrying this is nothing. But the 12.5 is my perfect go-to size. I just wanted to tap in on the conversation because apparently risers are a no-go, even though I like my risers. I acquire the dot better, and when I wear glasses, I want my head straight up. When I start doing this kind of stuff, I lose peripheral vision because of my glasses, right? Already on the sides. So I want to get laser eye surgery, but while I'm running glasses, or you're running eye protection, I don't know. If your eye protection wraps around, that's one thing. But I'm going to be keeping my risers. I definitely don't think I'll be changing my risers anytime soon. Vertical foregrips are easy to change in and out. So why don't you test some things, test out some different options and see if it benefits you when it comes to vertical foregrips. This has absolutely been my favorite. I probably would run this on every single weapon system I could. So True North Concept, absolutely love this thing. If you want to send me out a couple more, I'd appreciate it. They didn't send me this one. But if they wanted to send me maybe a couple more, this is absolutely my favorite just because it just gives me a good indexing point every time that I know exactly where my hand goes. Even though if you're being faster, you could grab it. It's just, I don't know, maybe I have it in the right place, but really love that. And overall, guys, keep training, keep practicing. Go through my old videos. Look at how I used to shoot compared to how I am now. I'm not a perfect shooter by any means, but the name of the game is progress. I definitely won't be changing out this rifle really anytime soon. I was really considering going back to the LPVO with the top dot with this, but I think I'm just going to stick with the red dot, man. And one of the other things about the red dot is this is the Romeo 4XT Pro. Probably you guys who have Hollow Suns, a couple other optics similar. This is a multi-reticle system. This has 4 different reticles actually. And I've tried all 4 of them really to just go back to just the dot. And on handguns, I'm sure most of you guys know the circle dot. I never run a circle dot on a handgun. I always run just the dot. And now I'm back to just the dot on this. I think the least amount of things to look at and just find the single point, put it vertically where you want to for your hold and let it fly, to me is just seeming like the most simple, fastest method is acquire my dot on target, dot on head, dot on shoulders. When I'm looking at the circle dot, once I get past about 50 yards, I'm trying to measure, am I centered? Because I'm using the circle to see if all sides of the target are in the middle of the circle as well. I'm focusing on the reticle too much. So remaining target focused, just a dot, I think might be the way to go. So if you got a multi-reticle solution, give that a try as well. And keep grinding, you guys. Keep training and getting better. Appreciate it. Hit the like button, subscribe button. We're growing on this channel. We got a lot of stuff that we're going to be putting out soon. I am moving to probably just Friday night live streams. I think the 2 days a week live stream is just a little much for as many things as I'm juggling. So we got channel memberships now. If we start to acquire more channel members, I will do channel members only live streams, and we'll have some special guests coming up soon. Some people that you maybe have never seen before that I think deserve a platform to talk. And yo, Christ is King. Christ is Lord. Better, do better, think better. Don't fall into degeneracy. We don't really have time for that. And get together with your group of dudes, bro. Stop procrastinating when it comes to your homies, right? We put a lot of things first in our life. The gym, massive importance. Make sure you're hitting the gym at least, I'd say 4 days a week. It's very important. Minimum 3 days a week. If you can only make 2 days a week, at least make the 2 days a week. But do stuff at home. Just because you're not going to the gym, I got a bunch of weights next to me. Push-ups, sit-ups, plank, body weight squats, whatever it is you can do at home. Build a little routine. Do that at home. Take 30 minutes, 20 minutes, even if it's before bed or right when you wake up. Just make sure you're doing something active every day of your life. Eat healthy. Don't be eating crap. If you're going through a drive-through, it's probably not a good thing. Don't go through drive-throughs. Stop at a gas station, get a protein shake, eat a protein bar and a banana. Starve yourself, right? It is so much better to not eat than put vegetable oil, terrible food into your body, fried stuff. Don't eat French fries. Don't eat that kind of stuff. I've lost 40 pounds. So a video I have coming up soon is going to be my new battle belt video, because my battle belt is basically falling off of my body. It's way too large for me. If you're a bigger dude and you would like an Agilite battle belt, hit me up, because I'm going to be moving all my stuff to my new belt, which I will unveil in that video. So, yep, check it out. Subscribe so you can keep up with the journey and support you guys as well out there who are just trying to be the best men that we could possibly be. So hope you like the Fat Rooster shirt. Shout out to Fat Rooster. Amazing dude. Great person who I met who follows the channel. He does a lot of cool gun stuff as well. I believe he still has a channel out there going, Fat Rooster. Catch you guys on the next one, man. Always keep the faith. Later.